All right, welcome in to a special edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, powered and driven, as always, by Ghost Chevrolet. We're catching up with a offensive lineman for LSU, a graduate transfer, fifth-year senior, and a guy who's expected to have an enormous impact on LSU's offense as his recruiting was highly covered, and it was big news when he pledged to LSU. We welcome in to the studio here on this Tuesday afternoon, offensive lineman Tre'Mond Shorts. Onto the set. Trey, what's up, man? How are you?
How you doing?
I appreciate you stopping by here, man.
No problem.
We've asked a lot of people that have come through here because there's a lot of new faces in town right now representing LSU football, whether it's players, coaches, how they ended up in Baton Rouge, your recruitment from East Tennessee State. What was it about LSU that made you pledge to the Tigers?
Came on my visit. Something just felt right, coming in. Seeing the stadium, meeting the coaches, the new coaching staff, just something felt right about being in Baton Rouge.
The offensive line obviously had a lot of holes to fill coming off of last season, and it was Brian Kelly's task to try and bring players in and make an impact at that spot. You seem like you're one of those guys. What did you take away from the 15 spring practices where you got your first look of being an LSU Tiger?
Me being a critic on myself, still got things to work on, but in a step in the right direction and trying to get this team better for the season.
What was it like under Brad Davis, the offensive line coach, working with him both in the classroom and on the field?
Coach Davis, he's very detail oriented. You don't have a good block, but it's all in the details because the details can lead to bigger problems. If you keep repeating the same details, because just like we looking at ourselves, other teams are looking at us trying to figure out a way to beat us.
Take me back to your recruitment. What was the transfer portal experience like for you, and how crazy did it get while you were still undecided?
Transfer portal was crazy. I went in like Monday, and I was in the process of moving out my apartment because I just finished the season or whatever. And I just remember sitting there on the couch with my phone charged up, and my phone ringing every 5 minutes, and it's a different school, different coach.
What was it about LSU? What made them stick out?
The name LSU, man. Everybody don't get this call, and come here is a blessing, and I'm here.
Absolutely. What was your relationship building process like with Brian Kelly, and then how was it under spring and continue to develop?
Looking at his past and what he did in his previous school, now he developed an offensive lineman. And with Coach Davis, those two together, I felt like I could come in and get developed more than I already have and just take my game to the next level and translate that to the next level.
Absolutely. What did you think about the group around you? You got some freshmen, guys like Will Campbell that came in, made a big impact. Even a guy like Emory Jones who's come in the offseason here seems like he's going to be somebody fighting for playing time. But you got a nice mix of veterans and youngsters with some guys like you, some new faces in that offensive line room. What do you make of the group?
I feel like we're a very close group, but when it's time to play, it's a competitive group, and everybody wants to win, everybody wants to start. So, outside of football, we're a very close group, and you laugh, joke around, and have fun with each other. But when it's time to play, it's time to get focused in, everybody's serious.
One thing that you will definitely have an opportunity to do is get better every day in practice, because that defensive line group looks like they got a couple of NFL guys, a couple of pros on that side of the ball. What did you take away from spring going up against guys like Jaquelin Roy and Mason Smith and B.J. Ojulari and some of those guys on the other side of the defensive line?
They're really good. He's seeing that from tapes and watching them, but going against them, I feel like getting that every day here, preparing me, because I haven't played in the SEC. I played against SEC opponents, but not in the SEC as a season. So that can help me get ready to play against SEC opponents each week.
You started 41 games at East Tennessee State. You started 40 of them consecutively. You've played a ton of college football. You mentioned that you have not played in the league in the Southeastern Conference, but you've gone up against competition in the SEC. What's your viewpoint of the league? What do you think of the conference?
Well, I remember my freshman year and going in against Tennessee, and they rotating guys. The depth of talent is crazy here in the SEC. From the ones to the twos, and it's just crazy. there's no like drop off. You know, some teams like in the FCS, like you ones, then your twos got a little drop off, but playing against SEC opponents, there's no drop off.
How has the adjustment been to the heat? You were from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
You played college football in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And now you're in Louisiana. I mean, you stayed in the South. You're from the South. How different is Louisiana heat, and how long did it take you to get it accustomed to it? And are you?
I'm not accustomed to it. It's still hot out here, but I mean, Georgia heat is hot, but it's not that hot.
Yeah.
So I feel because we're not like by any water or anything, I feel like the Mississippi River being so close to campus makes it like even hotter.
Yeah.
It's crazy out here.
Food?
Yeah,
Legit?
Food's good.
Yeah. So I mean, you've liked your LSU experience up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
What do you look at most forward to in your final season of college football?
Just running out in Tiger Stadium, man. Just playing in front of those fans.
What have you heard? What was the feedback for you? I think that you are a guy that NFL and pro personnel are looking at, and they are expected to evaluate you I'd imagine at a heavy clip this season with you being in the SEC. What's the feedback you've gotten from your game and what they're looking for from you at playing at this level?
Well, biggest question was, can I play interior? Actually, my freshman year I started at right guard, but I played like tackle for the last 3 years in college, so they want to see if I can play tackle again. And I mean, not tackle, guard again. So moving back inside, coming up to this level, playing against bigger, better competition, and yeah, that's pretty much.
Do you feel comfortable there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you look at this LSU roster and you look at the way that it's built from an offensive line standpoint, did you see you guys building that depth that you need to compete in the SEC during the spring? Did you see some of the guys, the young guys, even starting to catch on?
Oh yeah, especially like guys like Will Campbell and like Emory coming in. Those guys are hungry. Like They want it, and you can see it like the way they work. Working out and stuff. Like they want to be the best, and they want to like come in and play right away.
Absolutely. What's the emphasis for you this summer? What are you trying to improve on before fall camp starts?
Like the little things, like the smallest of details, like going back and watching like spring film and stuff. Just looking at the smallest things that I could correct in my game.
What do you see up to this point?
I mean, like hands, like hip leverage, and like learning like how to do it Coach Davis' way, because I was in the system for like 4 years, and like I built habits there. So like during the spring, I was trying to break them and like rebuild them during the spring. So now I could like not take my time, but like kind of hone in and like focus on like that type of technique that Coach Davis wants.
Yeah. What's it like with Jacob Flint? It seems like he's pretty forward thinking when trying to get you guys in shape. What's it been like under his conditioning program?
I love working out. Coach Flint, like, he don't make workouts like dreadful, like I gotta work out. It's like, man, I get to work out day,
Mm-hmm.
Working out is fun. I'd have been in workouts where you walk in, you like, man, I already know I'm finna die or whatever. I'm not be able to walk out of here.
Yeah.
And that's not the case with Coach Flint. We work hard and we get the results that we need. You can see the trend, like, because he's science guy, big on science. So you can see the trends of guys getting bigger, faster, and stronger, and it's translating. So Coach Flint and his staff does a great job.
Is your body where you want it for as far as the fall goes? Are you looking to add weight, gain weight? What are you looking to do?
Probably shed like about 10, a little bit more. But as far as strength wise, pretty where I want to be and stuff like that.
How much do you focus on the nutrition part of it?
Well, like previous years, like I didn't have like the nutrition staff and stuff like that. So now it's like talking to Dr. Franks and trying to get my nutrition where I need to be. So I got to build that nutrition habit so it like carries me throughout my career.
What's it like having these facilities?
It's great. Everything is like at your fingertips, kind of.
Any difference in the style you play depending on who the quarterback is? Does that change what you guys do up front?
I don't think so. I feel like Coach Denbrock is going to call the plays, the way he sees fit and whatever. So, I mean, we just got to go out there and do our job, and everything can take care of itself.
Absolutely. It seems like this group is very close. It seems like the team is very close. Can you talk about what has gone into building that chemistry? Because everybody that comes through here, look, I know that we're not there every day and we don't know you guys firsthand, but it doesn't seem like it's fake. It seems like it's real. Like this is a close team. Can you talk towards that?
I feel like since Coach Kelly came in and I got here, the first thing preaches, protect the brotherhood and accountability. Build a brotherhood where can't be broken by anything like distractions or anything like that, and accountability, hold each other accountable. So us doing that, it just brings us closer together. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like the questionnaires, do your questionnaire, bro. Hey, hold this accountable to this. Make sure you take your supplements. Just holding each other accountable.
SWAT team, right? That's what
SWAT teams. Yeah.
That is. When you look at from a defensive standpoint, LSU, obviously, that defensive line we talked about, but they bring in Matt House, the defensive coordinator. He was talking about going up against you guys on the offensive line during spring and talked about the athleticism that he saw on that group. Did you see that translate from your point of view, just the athleticism on the offensive line that you guys were featuring?
Yeah. Guys in the O-line room are very athletic, and it's something it's wow, they really doing that, we really doing stuff like this, especially going back to Will Campbell, you see him do stuff bro, just he's young. Imagine him in 2-3 years,
right.
It's gonna be crazy,
right?
And I just sit back an older guy, I just thinking man, these guys are gonna be good.
Mm-hmm. Did you feel the LSU football fraternity? I know that Tyrann Mathieu came and spoke to the group. What was that like to hear from one of the legends of LSU football?
When Tyrann came in, I was kind of astonished because I watched him being from the South.
Sure.
SEC football is on every weekend, and watching him make plays. I still remember LSU versus Georgia game when he just single-handedly took over that whole game.
Right.
I remember me being a kid, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So to hear him come and talk and about life in the league and stuff like that, it was great. I'm sitting there hanging on to every word he says because he knows.
Right. You graduated, right? So how does it work academically for somebody like you who already has a degree in your back pocket and coming in for your 5th year? How does it work from an institution standpoint?
I was going to start a graduate program, but me being one semester, I feel I don't want to feel like it's rushed or anything like that.
Yeah. So
I'm just kind of taking classes so I can stay eligible.
Sure. What did you graduate in?
Kinesiology. It's on my degree it says physical education, but the concentration was kinesiology.
So you want to coach? Do you have you thought about life after football? What you would do?
Kind of like a Coach Flint type guy, or in the training room, because I did an internship where I interned in the training room and weight room each semester.
Yeah, I know that you still have to stay academically sound and you have to stay eligible, but does it feel like you're kind of a pro football player where you're just focusing on football now that you've done the work in the classroom?
Kind of. I feel that way. That's why I'm trying to transition. I get up in the morning, I go training room, get some treatment and stuff like that, and try to take care of my body, in the later in my career,
Yeah, absolutely. Tre'Mond, great to meet you, bro.
Yeah.
Good seeing you on Saturday. Tre'Mond's a part of the Players Lounge that we were over there. Obviously, one of the guys that is dealing with. How is NIL for you guys? How is it now that, because you've seen college football from, you were recruited without NIL, you played without NIL, now you're in a place in a time where NIL is legal and people are doing it. How, from your point of view, is that affecting you?
It's kind of not affecting me, but I know it's going to affect the recruiting, and that's my standpoint on it. It's going to sway where guys go here in the future, and I feel like it's going to get real crazy out here soon.
Good luck to you, bro.
Thank you.
We will talk again soon. LSU offensive lineman Tre'Mond Shorts, who is a graduate transfer out of East Tennessee State, finished up spring as with the number 1 unit at left guard. There will be high competition on that offensive line come fall, but expect number 52, Tre'Mond Shorts, to be there as he's got high expectation of play. Good to see him. Make sure you give us a like and follow. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.